Okay, there we go. No sound. Great. Okay. Hi, everybody. That's my bad. That was me being silly. Yep. Okay, let me know if you can hear me now. I had it set to the wrong microphone. Instead of the one that I have plugged in, it was set to something else. Oh, can't just seem to get it together, can I? I'm gonna make sure. Yes, Linda, thank you. Jaden, good morning. Bobby, hello. Ellen, hello. Sonali, hi, hello. Great to have you all here. Happy New Year. I'm glad you all are here. I'm glad we can hang out this morning. It's been a minute since we've done a sketch session, and I've missed it. I was just flipping through my 2025 setup. I'm not I'm not going to get into each one of these quite yet, but I just giving you a quick look at what we got there. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Here's the one that I'm actively working on. I'm still not done with this one yet, but it's coming along. And then here would be my January setup if I had one. But let me see. Maybe I have. So 1, 2, 3, 4 pages for my January setup. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm just gonna stick to right here. Thanks, Bobby. Okay, so I'm gonna actually grab a one of the pens that's over here. I don't have it on my desk right at this moment. I might not have it over here either. My shoes are so squeaky. Oof. All right, here we go. Got my pens. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear how squeaky, but my shoes are very squeaky. Okay, here we go. So I inked up 2 of my parallel pens, my flat nib parallel pens, not these 2. And I've been having a lot of fun over the holiday break playing around with them. So let me see. Make sure that these are good and ready to go. Yes, they are. Beautiful. Okay. So let's do a little bit of flat nib in our sketch session. Okay. Getting my sleeves all rolled up. My hair all kerfluffed over here. Let's do this. Today is what, Tuesday? Tuesday. Okay. So I still don't have all of the days, or all of the letters, I guess, figured out. All 6 of yours. I only have the 4. I don't know what. I mean, I'm sure there's other sizes. I just don't know what they would be. Really quick, I am just pulling up a reference for the little bit of lettering here so I don't completely mess it up. Here we go. Nice classic. Oh, Jaden, you got a kit with graphite and charcoal? Nice. Good morning, Brenda Lee. Yes, I have tried those before, but give me just a second. I'm just going to flip. I have a little my tabs. I'm getting my tabs all ready to go. Okay. Yes, I have used them during the drawing boot camp last year. Whew, last year. I'm still not used to saying that. I'm just gonna use my little laser level here, keep myself sane. But do you have like a set with different like HB, 4B, 4H, like all those different sort of letters and numbers? Sorry, I'm getting quiet. I'm focusing. This one's still new to me, so I'm still kind of not the smoothest yet. Almost done with this word. Whew. Okay. Brenda Lee, freezing for you as well. Yes, it is brutal outside. 16 degrees, Linda, my goodness. That makes it look like a walk in the park for us. And I saw a poor, I feel bad laughing about this. But I saw a poor garbage worker who was like getting the bins. I saw them just absolutely eat it on the ice. They didn't know that anyone saw them. We were inside, but we felt bad for them from where we were. He did it hard. So I hope everyone stays safe out there on the roads because it's a little slippery. Jaden, you got charcoal pencils, compressed charcoal, willow sticks, the sharpener, art knife, eraser, the pencil extender, blending stumps. You got it all. Congrats. Well, that's a Merry Christmas indeed. Oh, Ellen, I'm using Pilot Parallel pens. Yes, Brendley, we did get the ice, snow, and freezing rain. Although it's not terrible, to be honest. I'm quite surprised. Here in Chicago, we really didn't get it that bad. Linda, oh my gosh, it's brutal where you are. Let me see if I can get a J. H-I-J. Okay, here we go. Oh, today is the 7th. The numbers are always a whole different beast. Whew. Jaden, congrats on the paradise weather. And Ellen, winter finally arrived. 31 now. Yep, it's been, honestly, it's not been too bad here, but lately, it's definitely hit the last couple of weeks since the new year, basically. Miami, the lows have been in the 50s and 60s, the highs no higher than the 80s. Some days the high hasn't reached 70. Ah, that does sound like paradise. Wow. Go enjoy some outdoor time for us all. Just soak it up. Although I bet you pay for it in the summertime when it gets good and hot. But Jaden, yes, earlier on your question about charcoal and whatnot. To be honest, I haven't done a ton with charcoal lately. I have used charcoal in the past and really, really enjoyed it. Um, I talk about it a bit more extensively about all those materials and like all the different numbers and what they all mean in the drawing boot camp. I do there's a drawing supplies for beginners, um, but essentially the idea is if you have a B next to the number on your pencil, like where it's like right here and it says B, that means bold or black. I don't remember which, but either way, that usually means it's softer and going to be darker, easier to smudge, easier to blend. And if it's an H, then that means it's harder, which means it's like these are pretty hard pencils and they don't really blend all that well, which means that they're really good for detail work. I got a bunch of really interesting art books for Christmas, and I have been loving them because they're all fairy related. So they've been books on fairies from like Brian Froud and Iris Compier, if you're familiar with her work. Basically, I've got fairies on the brain. Right, Linda? Man, so Brian Froud, for those of you who are unfamiliar, Brian Froud and Alan Lee released a book called Fairies in the 70s, and it was a huge hit. And it's a big art book full of fairies, and it talks about it. And it was just a big hit back then because the art is beautiful, but also because there was like a bit of an obsession with sort of the magical and the sort of otherworldly back then. There was a bit of a trend, a bit of a fad, and it became very, very popular. But if you've ever seen The Labyrinth or The Dark Crystal, then you are familiar with Brian Froud's work because he worked extensively on those movies in terms of like helping create the design and all of the different creatures and such. Yep, and so I already have the fairies book. That's the only one that I had, but I have now grown my collection by much, 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 much more. So I have trolls, I have good fairies and bad fairies, the goblins book, and then I have a book from Iris Compier, which is sort of a contemporary to Brian Froud. In that she has just got she's got a similar style, but it's her own obviously. But sorry, I'm having a hard time drawing and thinking apparently at the same time. But either way, they're just, it's incredible art. It's incredible, like, not world building, but sort of they talk about the fairies like they were being observed, like a biographer or a naturalist would would observe birds or something, but they're fairies. And it's just beautiful work, beautifully imaginative, and I highly recommend it. Basically, Brian Froud has been a huge inspiration for me my whole life, and I am so excited to have more books and things to explore. Sonali, Happy New Year to you as well. Oh, kind of like a reverse coloring book, Jaden. I've seen those. That's a really fun, a really fun premise. Just finding shapes and sort of picking them out of the watercolor pages. Trace the white lines, reveal the picture. Neat. That's a really fun and soothing kind of activity. I don't really do coloring books or reverse coloring books, as it were, uh, myself. It's just not something that like draws me in. No pun intended. But I definitely see the appeal. I understand why people love them so much, because it's just a really great way to practice creativity without having to like do every single thing from scratch, which can kind of be a little bit of a hang up for a lot of people, myself included. That is awesome, Jaden. I love a good Christmas art haul. I didn't get any new art supplies for Christmas, but I got the art books. So like inspiration galore, which is a fun thing to add to my collection. Brenda Lee, does your family put together like gift lists each year? Because is it possible that they don't know that you want art related things each year? Well, that's sweet, Brenda Lee. Well, consider putting together a list for them. It's kind of hard to buy for a hobbyist, like if, in something that you don't know that much about. So, like I found that when it comes to like art related things or any other like hobby that I'm interested in, it's better to kind of just explicitly say, like, have there be like an actual brand and specific item, because I think a lot of times people don't want to accidentally get you something that you already have or that is the wrong thing, something that you don't actually need, even though it seems like you might. I don't remember how Toad's eyes are. Give me a Toad. Oh, I was kind of right. They've got pretty sideways pupils. A Snow Patrol concert? Wait, Snow Patrol. Snow Patrol is an actual band, right? Yeah. Chasing Cars. It's the song that's springing to mind. Well, nice, Linda. Chasing Cars was actually like John and I's song way back in college. Back when we were cheesy and had songs. Not that I'm saying it's bad to have a song with a partner. We just don't really like recognize it as much anymore. Jaden, I totally feel that. Hobby hopping is what I call that. And then there's that constant like trying to chase an interest without like investing a ton in it. That's a smart way to go. That's a smart way to shop. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of buy the cheap version first. You know, cheap paints, cheap stuff. And then determine if it's something that you really like before you go out and get anything more advanced, essentially. Not gonna lie, Linda, when you first said Snow Patrol concert, I really, for a second, my brain read that as Paw Patrol, the little kids show. What kind of instruments do you play, Jaden? I've always wanted to learn, but I never got a teacher. My parents, as a kid, my parents kept buying instruments for us, but then never paying for lessons. of any kind or getting us signed up in school. So I never learned any of them. They got me a booklet, like with the violin, how to play the violin. They got me like a used violin. They weren't, super wasteful in that way. But I was not the self-starter type. Guitar, nice. Sonali, I have worked on the reply, but I have not sent the reply yet. So it is not out there yet. I am not especially quick when it comes to that sort of thing. Piano and flute, Linda. Very nice. I also had a guitar at one point in my life. My dad even went to the trouble of getting me a 3/4 guitar instead of a full-size one because I'm so small. Still didn't ever learn how to play it. I tried. I really did. But again, not a self-starter when it comes to musical instruments. They don't naturally come to me. Makes sense. I've never learned how to play any instrument. I barely got through the recorder section of elementary school. But that also was before YouTube was what it is now. Violin and viola, nice, Brenda. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call this sketch session here because it is 9:42. I lost track of time. Whew. All right. Well, excuse me. It's not a sketch session if I don't yawn at least once, huh? 2 klimbas? I don't know if I know what that is. Maybe if I saw it, maybe I recognize it. Klimba. Oh, yeah. I see. The little hand. What is that called? Like a hand. I know what you're talking about. Little ding, 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 ding. Like a little xylophone, but you smack the metal, and you make it vibrate with your finger rather than with a tool. All right. So thank you all so much for joining me for this first sketch session of 2025. I am going to go dip out and jump into other things, but check out the Foxy live class schedule. We have a good lineup this month, and we're actually going to be working on the February schedule soon so that we can hopefully get that out early in February or even before February. That would be crazy. But thank you all so much for joining me today, for hanging out. This has been a great conversation. You all rock. And I will see you all tomorrow morning for the next sketch session. Bye-bye.